Welcome back to another deep dive into the Harry and Meghan saga. This one, we're analyzing a bombshell claim today about the alleged divorce book deal. I felt this needed a video of its own because even though this wasn't a formal proposal, it was just an idea floating around. Can you imagine the implications this had on their marriage? Because it reveals a lot about their state of their marriage and Meghan's mindset. Are we watching the fairy tale crumble? Or is it once again Meghan trying to monetize her life and trying to be authentic? Anyways, let's get started. Hi everyone, I'm Star Chairs, and one of the things we do here is we analyze videos from a PR tech point of view. So the very first thing I have on my notes is the possibility that Harry had no idea that Meghan was even discussing a post-divorce deal. I honestly think he was blindsided by this, that he had no idea that Meghan was talking, or there were whispers in the grapevine that she was looking for this. Can you imagine finding out something so monumental through the whispers in Vanity Fair article? If this was done behind his back, I believe that it would have been an emotional betrayal of the highest order. Think about your relationship for a second. Whatever happens behind closed doors between you and your spouse, you do not expect your spouse to go out there and speak of it. Now, we know that there are whispers in the grapevine, and now it's written on Vanity Fair. I would have died if that would have happened to me. So I can only imagine what a devastating blow it must have been for Harry to hear this. And honestly, Harry doesn't strike me as someone who's proactive at checking the fine print. I mean, he did marry Meghan Markle, right? He's always been in environments where decisions have always been made to him or for him. First the royal institution, and now being married to Meghan Markle, which I assume Meghan makes all the shots or calls all the shots. If the book deal did blindside him, it could spark a serious reckoning in their marriage. Imagine the emotional strain of realizing your partner may be quietly plotting life after you. It's hard to recover trust from that because she's not planning, she's plotting. To just hear it from an article in print that's what she's doing in the office or her I don't know where she works. I honestly don't care. But can you imagine? And I always try to put myself, because working in PR, I always thought to myself, okay, how does this sound if I always put myself in the problem to make sure I can normalize it, humanize it, and be able to hear it and to feel what emotions I am giving out as a PR person. I don't just want to throw out a statement. I want to make sure I'm in the eye of the storm. You need to do that in order to be able to encompass the problem from every angle, because I might think of it one way because I'm not part of the problem or I'm not part of the event. But if I insert myself, then I'm going to think a little bit different. Another reason I believe this is very important, because we are starting to see the fairy tale crack. When divorce becomes a talking point, this is the other way that we can see this argument. Remember, you always have to look at it different ways. Here's the thing. Every couple has arguments, right? But when the divorce card is thrown around, it's often a sign of deep cracks in the foundation. Vanity Fair's revelation adds fuel to the fire, hinting that Harry and Meghan may have already discussed, possibly in private, the D word, divorce. From the beginning, you know their narrative, or at least the way Meghan has painted it, has been a fairy tale romance that overcame all odds. Royal drama, media scrutiny, and family rifts. It feels like a house of cards is falling. It really does. And it's in a world platform. Let's not forget that Meghan's critics have long accused of marrying Harry for his title, fame, and connections. And I completely agree with that. The more she talks, the more she works, the more she tries to get projects out, the more the lens is starting to focus on exactly why Meghan married Harry. And here's the thing. Harry might start questioning, which I don't think he's that bright, but Harry might start questioning why she married him in the first place. After the Vanity Fair's divorce plot, I hope he's starting to look at things differently, because Even though I don't think Harry is particularly savvy or self-reflective, because he's always been someone who follows orders, it's possible he's beginning to notice the cracks himself, and we can only hope and pray that he is. The cracks were already visible with the appearance on the CBS interview with Jane Paul. Harry's usual demeanor of affection and support were noticeably absent. I don't know if you noticed that. I did. He looked livid while Meghan looked tense, though she did try. She did try to maintain her role as blissfully married, loving wife, but her efforts fell flat, as Harry did not reciprocate the same energy as she did. And you could see it through the lens. Through our computers, we could see and hear the tension in that room. It was horrifying. The strained dynamic was even more obvious in the Nigeria trip, where their body language and lack of chemistry raised eyebrows. And let's not overlook her Instagram profile. It currently reads Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. A subtle but significant departure from the correct styling, the Duchess of Sussex. Is this a quiet signal that Meghan sees herself as divorced already in her mind? Or is she unintentionally giving us clues about her mindset? Honestly, I think this is what it is. I think she's probably slowly preparing us and preparing herself mentally and subtly with little clues here and there. I think so. Because her actions, intentional or not, speak volumes. Is this another calculated move in her ongoing disaster PR strategy that we are witnessing with her struggling narrative? Either way, the facade seems to be cracking. Now, let's shift gears for a second, because could a post-divorce book be Meghan's last hurrah? What do you think? Is it likely to change the public's perspective? And we already know Meghan's storytelling pattern. She always casts herself as the hero in every story and others as villains, and conveniently skips over accountability of her own actions. So, with that said, there's the trust factor. After years of curating interviews, questionable narratives, could anybody believe a post-divorce memoir from Meghan Markle? I wouldn't, but I'd be so interested to see how she views things through her lens, because her ex-employees have reportedly needed therapy. Her marriage is strained. Even her neighbors call her the local villain. I don't know why that cracks me up, because I feel like if your neighbors call you a local villain, your neighbors are the ones that see you day in and day out. You cannot lie to your neighbors. Your neighbors can see you through, and they can see through you. If Meghan cannot maintain relationships to those closest to her, how can we trust a version of her events? Honestly, would you trust them? The sad reality is that Meghan's biggest downfall might be her refusal to listen to advice. I could spill all the right things that she could do, but it'd be like I would be talking to a wall. She wouldn't listen. She wouldn't care. She would think she's right. And like I said before, she's stuck in outdated strategies, convinced that she knows better. But now that her staff is speaking out and her inner circle is crumbling, we're seeing a fallout of her leadership style, or lack thereof. Now, from a peer perspective, let's have a little fun, because this is the place where we all shine. I read your comments and they are the best. So, what could Meghan hypothetically name her post-divorce book deal? Here's my few suggestions. Leaving Harry, My Journey to Freedom. The next one is Not So Wild About Harry. Tiaras and Tears, The Real Meghan Markle. So let me know in the comments below what title you think would be appropriate for her post-divorce book deal. With this said, is she already plotting her exit strategy while Harry continues to play the dutiful husband? I honestly do not think Harry knew about this. I really didn't. I can only imagine how he took this information in, because the Vanity Fair article gives us plenty to think about, and it gave Harry plenty to think about. And if it didn't, oh my goodness, I don't know what to say. Because if their marriage is on the rocks, as we can visually see it from our point of view on everything that they release and the whispers and this Vanity Fair article, do you think Meghan and Harry can salvage their relationship or rebuild their new public image? I know they tried time and time again, but they fell because Meghan fails to listen. Either way, it's clear that they're facing an uphill battle. All right, guys, that is all I have for you today. Thank you very much for joining. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe before you leave. I am trying to get to 5K. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed so far. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.